Welcome back to Day Trippin'. Now, if I were to show you a picture of an animal, could you tell me what that animal is? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, apparently this is an alpaca, and there's a place in Ventura County where you can see a whole bunch of these alpacas, and that's what we're gonna do right now. All right, we're in Somis, California. How long did it take us to get here? About an hour and a half? Hour and a half from Orange County. And we're here to visit the alpacas. I have no idea what an alpaca is. That's one thing that I'm going to learn today, is what is an alpaca? Is it a llama? Is it a horse? Like, is it like a miniature horse? Like, if you were to come up to me in the street and be like, Kyle, what's an alpaca? I'd be like, I don't know, get away. See, that's one of the good things about this show, Day Trippin', is that I go on these adventures. I learn things, you learn things, and we're all better for it. Like, when I go to sleep tonight, I will be going to sleep knowing everything about alpacas. And you will too. Hope we didn't pass it. Wait, oh, wait a second. Those are alpacas, I can tell, because I saw a picture of them on the internet. Yep, alpacas at Windy Hill. We're here. I think I could park here. Let's do it. All right, we've made it. We're looking for somebody named Cindy Harris. She's probably here. It does say welcome, so. Cindy.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Come on out.
All right.
You don't need to hide. All right.
Rearranging some of the alpaca products that we have in our office here. This is a scarf made from alpaca. One of our alpacas right here on the ranch.
Well, thank you for having us.
Sure.
Would you mind giving us a little bit of a tour?
Absolutely. Come on in.
All right.
So we've got ribbons on the wall from when we go and we show our alpacas.
You have quite a few ribbons on the wall. How many championships have you won? There's like, you have like 50 championships.
Well, maybe 50, I don't know. We've done pretty well. And then we shear them once a year and we make things out of it. Over here on this little table are all kinds of hats and scarves and mittens and things that are made from alpaca.
Now the products are great, but I would love to see the alpacas. Why don't we head outside and see some?
Let's go to see them.
All right.
So we're authorized, so we can go through here.
Perfect. Authorized personnel. That's me. Always authorized.
Yes.
Remember that.
We're officially authorized.
So how big is the property?
The property's 25 acres, and we have about 350 alpacas right now. It's an investment livestock, so we...
This is a beautiful alpaca.
Isn't she?
This is probably the friendliest alpaca I've ever seen in my life. Oh, here's another alpaca. Oh my God.
Lucy, she's an Australian Shepherd, and this is Solomon.
Oh.
He's one of our Anatolian Shepherds. He's our livestock guardian dog.
What would be a common predator to an alpaca?
Well, in this area, what we have basically are coyotes, and the Anatolians are just going to make sure that nobody gets in, and if they do get in, they don't last long.
Well, thank you for protecting.
We have some alpacas in here today that are here for, special things. This little guy.
Who is this guy?
This is, well, I've been calling him Petey, just for lack of a better name. But he's the wakaya. The wakaya is the fluffy one. See how fluffy his fleece is? Stands straight out from his body, and it's very soft and fuzzy feeling. And so his type is wakaya.
Petey, you have anything to say?
Who?
Petey, you're very vocal for a baby. Yeah. Petey, are you a registered voter? He doesn't like to talk politics. I don't blame him.
His mother doesn't let him.
Yeah.
And then over here we have the other kind. And these guys are called the Surrey. Surrey in the Quechua language means straight, and so their fleece is straight.
Yeah.
And it hangs in these little dreadlocks. And I'll see if I can sort of capture this guy. There. Good. So this is Tronada, and you can see what his fleece looks like. See how it's very shiny, and it falls in these individual locks. It's very slick and silk-like. And this morning we just had a baby. If you want to go out and see the brand new.
You have a baby? Yeah.
We just had one this morning.
Coming up after the break, I come face to face with a baby alpaca. And I live out a lifelong dream. All right, I'm about to feed an alpaca. I've never done that in my entire life until right now. Please note, you're watching Day Trippin' on Time Warner Cable. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Brian Kushida and welcome to Let's Eat. This is a show where we check out the iconic restaurants, out-of-the-way eateries, and just plain good food that can be found right here in Southern California. Now today we're starting off the show in San Diego at a fast casual restaurant with plenty of pork on its menu. Let's check out Carnitas Snack Shack. In the North Park neighborhood of San Diego along University Avenue,
we're in the up-and-coming section, we'll call it.
You'll find a little restaurant going big on pig.
It was so original.
Local families, workers, and college students form lines at Carnitas Snack Shack for fast casual fare with an emphasis on pork.
I've always been fascinated with pork. I don't know if you know, but I was actually raised Jewish, and I wasn't allowed to eat pork as a child. And once I discovered it, I kind of went off the deep end.
Chef owner Hannes Cavan opened Carnitas Snack Shack in late 2011, and the shack continues to gain a following with their sandwiches,
steak sandwich,
sides,
these are our seasoned fries,
and 2 items rotated in every day, which sometimes aren't pork-centric.
That is our chicken wrap. That is the beef terrain.
I am not disappointed at all.
They were all unique dishes.
The namesake slow-cooked carnitas tacos are a favorite for many customers at the shack.
We do a really nice carnitas. It's Michoacan style, and that takes about 6 hours to cook, and we serve it in tacos or a torta. And that's been one of our specialties.
It's almost as if we were in Mexico somewhere.
The meat, the taste of the meat, and it's so tender, it just falls off of each other. It's kind of like bundled together, but it just melts in your mouth.
Carnitas Snack Shack cooks up a different take on another pork item, one I really want to try. It's called the pork sandwich, but there's more to that name.
It's known as the triple threat, being that it has the pulled pork, a pork schnitzel, and bacon on it. All in one sandwich.
Why do 3? Why just keep it simple with 1?
It has different tastes and textures, all in one sandwich. That keeps you wanting more.
All right, we're in the Carnitas Snack Shack kitchen with Chef Hannes Cavan. We're gonna learn how to make the pork sandwich.
Yep.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right, so how do we get started
All
here?
right, well, first things first, we gotta get our schnitzel breaded. So we're taking a boneless pork loin. We're doing what is known as a standard breading station. That's flour, egg, and then breadcrumb. We use panko here. It cooks up a little bit lighter. So we're gonna take that, drop that into the old deep fryer.
You don't waste any time.
No, not at all. And then we're gonna take our pulled pork that we have been braising, or slow roasting, I guess would be another term for it, in the oven for about 4.5, 5 hours. All right, so we got that going. The third part of the pork sandwich is bacon. So we're gonna take some bacon and get that starting to crisp up nicely. We're gonna take our bun, spread it with just a little bit of butter. It helps to toast it up a little bit nicer.
Butter never hurts, right?
Yeah, never hurts. If anything, it makes you healthier. At least that's what I tell myself. All right, so we got everything heating up, and that's a big part of when you're making this or making any sandwich, to have all your stuff ready. If you have to keep going to the fridge for this, or to a cupboard for that, it just slows you down.
Well, we're in a tight space right now, so
yeah.
you don't have time to
no,
run
you're
around
right.
here, right?
Good point. Very good point, Brian. All right, so I see everything toasting up really nice. The bacon's getting crispy, and we don't want the bacon to get too crispy. Otherwise, when you bite too crispy a bacon, it just kind of shatters. So what we want to do is have it cooked enough that it doesn't have like a fatty texture, but we want there to be an enjoyable taste to it. So we have the schnitzel coming out of the fryer. What we want to do is you want to season with salt and pepper every component. So we just season the schnitzel. Look at how that bread.
You season the schnitzel out of it, huh?
The schnitzel out of it. Yes, sir. I'm going to actually steal that from you. All right, so we have a nice light toast on our bun. we're gonna put our shack aioli, which is a mixture of pickled cauliflower, carrots, and pepperoncinis. And we mix out with a little bit of aioli.
That's kind of a thicker aioli.
Yeah. Well, the pickled veg helped to bind it a little bit. So we're gonna assemble the pork sandwich. So we're gonna put on the pulled pork. Next comes our schnitzel. And because of the richness, one of the other components is a pepperoncini and pickle relish with some roasted red bell peppers in that. So that gives a little bit of acidity, a little bit of heat from that pepperoncini, but minor. I mean, pepperoncini is definitely not a pepper in my book. And then we're gonna top it off with the strips of bacon. See what I mean? How it's cooked, but you don't see, you know, raw, but it's nice and it bends still a little bit. Then we're gonna top it off with the top bun. And to keep it all together, a skewer.
You gotta put a skewer in it.
And then there you have it. The pork sandwich.
It's huge. Look at that stick that's in here. How tall is this, do you figure?
That's about a 4-inch sandwich because it's a 6-inch skewer.
You mind if I give this a
Please,
shot?
that's it.
All right.
She is ready.
Do you mind skewer in or skewer out when you take a bite?
Probably skewer out.
Skewer
you have
out.
protective lenses, so you might be all right, but let's not take any chances. That's just for the food runner to run it out to the table. We don't lose the top bun.
I'm gonna try this. I've never seen anything like this before. Let's see here. Oof.
That's it. Get a manhold of it.
Get a man.
So you have richness, a little bit of acidity, creaminess from the aioli.
This is pork heaven right here. We got bacon, you got the pulled pork, you got the schnitzel over here, and then you have all these different textures of the pork.
Correct.
All in one sandwich.
That's what we were going for.
And then the aioli and a little bit of the peppers or the relish on top adds a nice little tanginess to it.
Yeah.
This little,
It makes it so you can continue to eat it and you don't just get that heavy richness and that's
right
it.
now. I'm going to continue eating it.
Awesome.
The savory pork sandwich took me some time to finish, but there's one more food I have to try at Carnitas Snack Shack. The Shack BLT.
I thought the BLT was pretty darn good. I like the simplicity of it, and there was lots of bacon.
Coming up, how Carnitas Snack Shack piles up their BLT sandwiches. And later, a trip to Sherman Oaks for some big plates of Lebanese food.
Welcome back to Get Fit. No, this isn't a club.
It's just full of good energy, good people, and positive vibes.
It's dancing on a bike for an hour.
At least not exactly.
It's kind of like a club atmosphere. We do upper body moves to the beat.
Bike to the Beat in Newport Beach is an indoor cycling fitness studio.
A really intense but fun workout.
Great cardio workout.
That holds classes in a nightclub-like setting.
Love at first sight.
It just pushes you to go as hard as you can.
With an instructor who DJs and plays fast-paced music to provide an exciting and energizing atmosphere.
It gets your heart rate up.
It's the best cardio workout that I have found.
Clients from all backgrounds.
You kind of go at your own pace, even though we're all going together. If you need to take a break, that's okay. You just join back in when you can.
All looking for a good workout that's not boring.
Definitely speaks to the kind of workouts that I like to do.
Gets me, out of the gym doing the boring weightlifting workouts.
And David Wynn may just be the poster child of the class's success.
I used to have really high cholesterol.
David was told he'd be on medication for the rest of his life unless his health got better.
My doctor, he said, man, you need to get this under control.
So he tried Bike to the Beat and 6 months later was happy with the results.
I went from extremely high cholesterol to like in good range, healthy range. So this was the best thing for that. Nothing else worked but this.
Owner Mindy Ferrantelli says she's seen several similar success stories.
I actually become friends with most of them, so I get to see their progression of usually, losing weight, dropping sizes.
The secret to their success, they actually never sit on the bike. Well, I did. But this makes it a total body workout.
It is a full body workout because we are using not just our legs for sprinting like most classes. We actually use our upper body. We're doing push-ups with our arms. Every time we move, we use our core for everything. So literally from your knees all the way up, every time you move, it's a workout on each side.
And the other reason Bike to the Beat is different than other spin classes is, of course, their music.
I think any way that you can reach people and make it fun is an awesome way to get a workout.
I just feel motivated.
It literally takes your mind off the working out for the whole hour because there's so much going on. It's kind of like you're in a club, you're looking at other things, you're not really thinking about how hard it is. You're kind of focusing on the rhythm and all the moves we do, and it just kind of takes your mind off that whole hour of cardio.
That's why everybody keeps coming back.
I love it. It's my favorite time of the week.
It doesn't feel like a workout at all. It feels like you are dancing on the bike for a full hour.
It always will test me and push me.
When I'm on that bike, I kind of get in the zone, and you get in this mental space. The song clicks in your head, and you're like, that's it, I'm all in, you know? And I just go and go and go, and when you're done, you just feel super gratified.
But one member says her love for this type of workout goes a little further.
Like totally dove in, got way interested.
As soon as she took her first class, she fell in love and became friends with Mindy, the owner.
Next thing you know, I was so obsessed that I was like, I gotta teach a class here. So now I've just started with teaching a class.
Now she's just hoping to inspire new members, just like she was first inspired by her instructors.
Left, right, up, up, up. I strive to follow their footsteps since they're quite big footsteps to fill.
As for me, let's just say I'm striving to, well, just keep up. Coming up on Get Fit, ever want to run off and join the circus? Don't worry, we'll give you a workout too.
Welcome to SoCal Beat, a show to keep you in tune with all things music in Southern California. I'm Julie Garcia, coming to you from outside Exchange, LA. I'll have more on this venue later in the show. Today is all about the EDM, that's electronic dance music. I have some very talented DJs to introduce you to. First up, it's Swedish duo Cassette.
Nobody knew where they came from. Nobody saw them coming. They just appeared over the city and hovered there.
Alex and Sebastian are Cassette. The two gained success quickly with the help of At Night Management, the same entity behind the meteoric rise of Swedish DJ Avicii. Alex and Sebastian met on MySpace.
I mean, we sent a few tracks back and forth, but we didn't really figure that we would work together. We just sent it for feedback. And he was into the kind of music that he did back then, and I was into my part, and then I switched over and he kind of followed my lead. Then I don't remember when or exactly what track, but somehow we ended up like collabing on a remix. And yeah, and then since then it was just like pure magic. Like we worked so well together, we figured we had to make something serious out of it.
You can find part 1 and 2 of their debut record, Eject, right now. The third part will release later this month to complete the album.
When you listen to all of the 3 parts together, you're gonna realize that it's a lot of mixtures going on between genres and yeah, just different types of music, I guess. We tried to vary our sound as much as possible. We kind of coined the term dub house when we blended dubstep with house. I like to think of that as more of an era of Cassette, and you know, we always want to like just keep on pushing forward and experiment with new types of tracks.
You said you coined the term dub house?
Yes.
Is that how you describe your sound on the whole, or what word would you use for it?
It's the easy way to describe our sound, but it's not only like dubstep and house music. It's electro, it's indie, hip hop. I mean, it's everything. We do whatever we want, but we just call it dub house because it's simple. We have some dubstep breaks and housey drops, or the other way. I don't know.
What's it like wearing the little cassette heads?
It's kind of tricky from time to time because they're not very flexible and quite heavy, but overall it's fun. Like what motivates you, even though it's kind of tricky, is like you give your fans something extra than just like a DJ said. You get them a nice production, which is what drives me, at least, you know, because when you're inside the heads, you're kind of stressed out, you know, like you're trying to mix as well. We have built-in headphones, so that's how we mix while we use them, but it's not ultimate for like dancing and stuff like that. But it's a cool thing, and like we like putting on the show, right?
Their career launched in June 2011. Since then, they've toured with Avicii and performed at a number of epic festivals: Ultra, Tomorrowland, EDC Vegas, and EDC New York. That has to be insane. Like, what's the energy like, and what's it like for you guys on stage?
It's amazing. There's nothing like it when you see 60,000 or 30 or 40 or 80 just jumping to like in sync to your own tracks. It's incredible.
Those tracks can only be found on Spotify. The guys are releasing their music exclusively through the streaming service.
We use Spotify since day one, and we both think that it's the best way to listen to music and like get to know new music.
I asked if the guys play any other musical instruments.
Not at all.
Really?
No, I go all by ear with melodies and stuff like that. Same for you, right?
I can play the drums.
How good are you though?
I'm pretty good. It's like I know the basics and like some other stuff, but I don't remember that much because I played when I was 14, 15. I don't remember. But
so 1 year ago. No.
For the record, Sebastian is 19, Alex is 23. Coming up, I have Cassette's advice for success. You're watching SoCal Beats on Time Warner Cable.
Welcome back to On Set. We've known her for years as the nanny. Fran Drescher, that distinctive laugh continues to make audiences laugh in TV Land's popular sitcom, Happily Divorced. Right now, Fran sits down and opens up about the show, her responsibilities in it, and how she delights in the process of heading up a successful TV series.
Okay, so once again, you're in a show where your character's name is Fran. You are Fran, so how is the Fran Drescher different from Fran Lovett?
Well, I think that I'm probably a little more ahead of Fran Lovett because we're exploring how Fran is developing just a few years out of the marriage and her husband turning gay. In the story, he wakes her up in the middle of the night and says, "Honey, I think I'm gay." So she really gets the rug pulled out from under her, and from that moment forward, her whole life is different. And she has to learn how to be single again, though she's middle-aged, and he is learning how to integrate into the gay community, though he's always been straight. And together, what they really do best is be married. So it's really kind of a roommate show, and it's also like husband and wife show with a twist.
That twist speaks to families on many levels. Now in its second season, Happily Divorced is giving people permission to be true to themselves and the comfort in knowing that ex-couples like Fran and Peter can honor each other's choices. and move on beyond the hostility that can, in the majority of cases, be so much a part of divorce.
He was so convincing pretending to be my husband. Oh, well, because he had 18 years of practice.
Sis, could you give me and Fran a minute?
Oh, sure. 1,000, 2 1,000.
Franny, I know I'm supposed to be helping you, but listen, this trip is doing Peggy so much good. She is just improving by leaps and bounds.
Oh, she's eating my flowers.
See, she's getting her appetite back. Okay, from this moment on, I am all yours. 4 o'clock, we're going cake tasting.
Just you and me?
Well, what is she supposed to do all day?
Well, if she's still hungry, the lawn needs mowing. Well, I think the global message of the show is love is love. And everyone has a right to live an authentic life. So, you know, if you love somebody, you love them, period. I think that would be the global message of the show, love is love. And then, you know, it's all wrapped up in a very deliciously inviting, wonderful, hysterically funny situation comedy.
So I had the great opportunity of speaking to your co-stars today who all say that you are an amazing boss. Now, of course, you're also a cast member as well as the boss. So how do you wear those two hats? How do you
I've learned, I have a lot of experience very gracefully going from one, wearing one hat into another. And I think that everybody is really quite used to that. 1 minute I'm acting, the next minute I stop and say, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right, or I don't think that, where's the camera and stuff like that. So I think that it's very helpful to produce a show when you have an executive producer that's on the stage at all times, and that's me. So it just narrows the margin of how long it takes to make changes and how fast you see mistakes. And so I think that we have a good routine going. I personally would not be able to do a series if I weren't the executive producer on it at this point. I think that I'm very good at it, and I love working with Peter. He's the head writer and also the showrunner, and so it's a very good blend, and we're very blessed that we have such a good crew and such a superb cast. Everybody is really lovely and sweet, and for me, I don't need to be doing this. This isn't, my big break. I delight in doing it, but it has to be a lovely experience. I don't want to come to work and get agita. I've already had a cancer. I don't need another one. So I feel blessed that I'm in the company of such gracious, lovely, loving, grateful people, as am I. And together we're just taking this ride. And every week we put on a little play.
A little play that takes a huge team of people to make happen. Fran leads a company of talented and dedicated crew members, many of whom had worked with her from her days on The Nanny. Cranking out a weekly sitcom is a systematic process, and Fran says she is incredibly thankful for the passion the cast and crew deliver on a weekly basis to continue to make people laugh each week. At this stage in her career, Fran says she continues to be inspired by the process of series television production.
Well, when you're doing a series, you're at different stages of production for every show. So while we're shooting a show this week, we also just locked editing on a show that we did a few weeks ago. And we're working on the script that we're going to be doing next week. So there's always this assembly line and rotation of responsibilities that are dealing with all the shows until they're completely finished and waiting to be aired. They're always at a different stage of pre and post production. And then there's the one that we're producing right now. I like it because I need a lot of intellectual stimulation and creative stimuli, and this kind of format really gives me that opportunity. So I'm never bored, and it's nice to be hands-on. It's nice to be surrounded by department heads who are like-minded, and we're just all trying to put on the best show we can.
When we return, Fran gets deep and opens up about cancer, her relationship with her ex-husband, pre- and post-divorce, And meet the other half of Happily Divorced, Fran's ex-husband, Peter Mark Jacobson. Don't go anywhere, there's more to see on set.